Hello, guys. I'm back again, and now, with a completely different personality who is very close to me. I like him, and I hope he likes me too. Uh, I welcome Nayan Mishra on the show. And Nayan Mishra is an inspiration for all those people, who are studying inside their colleges or who have just passed out, of what, ideally struggle looks like while setting up a startup and what is the importance of perseverance, patience, hard work. And this video, the main intention is to basically, showcase to all those youngsters who must be watching it, to take an inspiration from this guy and make sure that you don't quit on small failures in life. So I welcome you, Nayan. Just
Thank you
to give
so
a
much.
brief introduction about Nayan, Nayan is the co-founder of Zillout. He's an engineering graduate from VIT. Basically comes from a, from a tier two place in central India, but with a more than tier one kind of a mindset. So welcome you, Nayan, and thank you for taking out time for this session.
Thanks, Rishikesh. Thanks for the good introduction for me. So let's take this forward.
Sure. So Nayan, the first thing which actually all of us want to know is that you tell us about your entrepreneurial journey and what led to the creation of Jill Out. Because I know for a matter of fact that there were a lot of things that you did before coming to Jill Out. So if you could tell us that story.
Wish I could say in one word what led to the creation of Zillout, but it's a interlinked story. So I was basically I left my home almost 10 years back when I was in the 10th standard. And that time, only one goal was there in parents' life, and nobody told me what to do. And everyone like prepare for IIT, prepare for JE, and they just threw me into Kota, Rajasthan. I started there. Luckily, I found one of my good friend with me who helped me figure out how to take care of the study part of it. But still, I was kind of confused, unaware what to do, and been to Kota, started preparing for JE, and it was like a close call. I prepared for 2 years and just missed out on few numbers, and everyone started telling me that this is the end of story. You didn't go through, you wasted your 2 years, you have not been with the family. So I was like, okay, I'll give another shot. At that time, I took a drop. I again wanted to prepare for that 2, 3 extra marks, which I couldn't secure to get into that prestigious college. But again, as the destiny said, again I was not in that phase, and I couldn't make it to IIT. But then we decided that I'll take up the college, and I took a private college, that is VIT Vellore, and got a good branch, that is computer science. And again, to be really honest, I don't know why I went with computer science, because my dad is a civil engineer, he's a government employee, and everyone told me, "Hey, go for civil, mechanical." I don't know why I choose. It's just probably because of my friends and the technology was coming up, and I didn't give much thought on that.
Yes.
Later on, when I was in college, I have seen that how the unsuccess story looks like. I have been failed for 3 years, couldn't go anywhere. And then first year was like just a normal college. From second year, everyone started panicking between like the friends and family that how you gonna take the job, what you have to prepare for the job. And again, I got nostalgic about it, that okay, this the race again begins. Previously, the race was for the IIT JEE, now the race for the job, the best company, and I was worried. And then during second year of my college, that's where for the first time I realized that I am not meant for the normal conventional coding job or the something like that. I started building my own network, and that's where during third year of my college I started my first venture, that was rent bars. Unfortunately, that failed, but that's again a story probably for the next time. And then later on with that rent bars, we kept growing. We started making some money, and our friends were making a lot more because they were placed in good companies. But then My thought was that I'm gonna do it by my own. I don't know what to do. Nobody is from my family background, no business, nothing. I belong to a middle class tier two family. So I had no option, like no clue where I'm heading basically. But then as the path opened up, we got incubated into the prestigious IIM Bangalore NSRCL program for the own startup. And the very first statement, my father said that if you would have studied for that, you'd have never got into IIM Bangalore. So, but yeah, I was into I am Bangalore, getting the mentorship and the real life experience from these the prestigious college professors. And one small thing I would like to point out. So there was one professor. He asked the question that, Nain, what's your plan after doing this? Like after you make this successful, what's your plan? And I was a kid. I just wanted to basically impress that professor that okay, I want to study or something. I just said that I want to do MBA, and my forte was sales. I was into sales, so I wanted to do MBA. That day, the professor who is teaching for almost like 40 years into IIM Bangalore, he told me that, Nayan, no, why you want to do MBA? I just said that because to get to know how the business looks like. He said that business are not on the paper. Here we are not teaching how to do business. Here we are teaching how to communicate business. If you know your business, you already know how to communicate your business. If you need people, they will come with you. Make your business big. You can get those people on your team. But you yourself doing MBA is a little difficult task. That day I realized that that the teacher is teaching for almost like 40 years and he knows the real essence, that it's not the knowledge which we are getting on the books. So he said that during the IIM Bangalore, like the whole MBA course, we teach 2 minute talks. The whole idea of doing this, oh, what is this?
Hmm.
So the whole idea of doing MBA is we teach students how to do that 2 minute talk,
Yes.
which I was already doing at that moment. And then later on, the rent bus journey didn't go well, and we had to pivot. Lockdown happened. We were again clueless how we gonna do, what we gonna do. So later on, the journey with Zillout started. I was into Bangalore. I didn't go home after my college because again everyone was celebrating their job success and something like that. I had nothing to do. So I stayed back. I came back directly to Bangalore. I had nowhere to go. I just randomly called up my friend that can you let me in for like a month or so. And he welcomed me with a warm heart. And I was into the Bangalore, knowing nothing about the Bangalore, how the market is, who the people are in Bangalore. And I started going to nightclubs, like the pubs, clubs, bars, and breweries. And then again, I started facing problem as a customer. And one day it was a height that I got denied entry into a club, and that's where it's like, okay, this is not something good for the consumer. This is not something you did good to me. And that's where the journey of Zillout started. We started the idea of Zillout, that how we can solve the unorganized Indian nightlife market, which is booming a lot, but there are multiple issues with that.
Superb journey, and must say that in such a small period of time, right? You have learned so much. I think, I usually tell this thing like instead of doing a 2-year MBA, government should start giving 20 lakhs ka fund to, people who do startups, they will learn more.
They'll definitely learn more. So I believe in the concept called jump into the pool, you will learn to swim
Yes,
eventually.
yes, yes,
So I just did that.
yes. Acha, so, so you told that, a lot of your friends were, going and taking up job, right? Didn't that create a kind of a FOMO in you that, what if it doesn't work out?
Definitely. So I had to fight like two problem basically. One is within me, that everyone is getting money, everyone is getting stable in their life, they are having a proper structured life, and here I am still figuring out what I'm gonna do today. what I'm gonna do tomorrow. So the first convincing journey starts from within. I convinced myself that I'm gonna build something. But the second journey starts to convince people around you, your parents, your family members. They're not thinking bad way. They're not thinking that why I'm doing this. They're just being careful about the kid, that he might not be aware what he doesn't know what to do. He probably took take a wrong step in the life.
Yes.
So the journey of convincing people started with my parents. I convinced them that I'm gonna do something. I'm
Mm.
building something, and could you please believe me? And I was lucky enough to be in the situation that I do not have that kind of commitment with the family or with that kind of financial help. I was getting that from my family, which I find myself lucky to be in this place. Otherwise, I would definitely not be in this situation. So definitely that FOMO was there, but then eventually it faded out with the work and the kind of things we were doing.
Yes. So then I think you have met Vivek. So I would like to introduce Vivek into the conversation as well. Um, and we continue on, talking about your journey. So, so you started, you started with rent barge, and then you went to, start with Zillout, and so because entrepreneurship is said to be a lonely journey, but then you have to make a team, who can actually complement your skill sets and can build things. How did you build your team, and if you could introduce your team also?
So I'll start with building the team. The So when I was building Rent Bars, it was just a two-member team. I and my co-founder Gaurav is my long friend for almost like 14, 15 years. So
Right from the
we knew
quota
each
time.
other right from the quota time, right from the actually school time. Actually, because of him, I got the permission from my parents that okay, this guy gonna take care of me.
Yes.
But regarding team building, I realized two things. So initially, when I started up, I was very scared. And when you are scared to do things, you spread that vibe into your ecosystem. And nobody wanted to work with me because I myself is scared. Nobody believes on a person that you are scared, you don't know, you are confused.
Yes.
Nobody wants to join the team. And I struggled a lot while building the team. First team member which we got in Rent Bars was a guy who came to do freelance work. And then when he started working, he saw us working. And then suddenly he said that I do not want money. Can you put me in your team? And that's where I realized that it's not the money which attracts people to build the team. It's basically the inner confidence. When that guy started seeing we both working, going into the grounds, talking to people, that's where they realized, okay, there is something going on, and they started believing. So I replicated the same model into Zillout because Zillout was a tech company and we needed more people. Now, the very first problem to solve while building the team was the trust. So how do I get that trust factor? I reached out to my college friends because they know me from the beginning. They know why I bunk class. They know why I do not attend lectures. They know what I do in my free time. So it was easy to build trust with them. I reached out to them. I talked about the Zillout, and at that particular point of time, I did not have the clear vision what Zillout is gonna look like. It's just the basic problem statement which I felt, and I just told them that we can go on board. Currently, we are a team of 14 people and started with two people, I and Gaurav. I got one guy that is Rajat. She was my basically college roommate. So he knew what we do. I knew what he does. So that's how we got first member into the team. Second member was again my batchmate. We were into the same class. We used to attend same lectures. He used to teach me before the exam that okay, just study the important points. So I got that guy. And then both of them started working, they started believing in the idea. And then suddenly we required one more person into the team. So Saksham currently he is working with Misho. He's a senior Android, he's a senior developer in Android, senior developer too. So he reached out to another batchmate who knew me but was a better friend of Saksham. So that's how he got Karthik on board, and the team started building up. Everyone knew me, but again, there was some reference. So right now, again, we have two more member, Rahul, in our team. He's the product manager in Car Dekho, ex-product manager. Currently, he's the product manager at Smart Coins.
Hmm.
So I met Keshav. So I used to go Keshav. I like it was a random story. I was in Bangalore and I met a random guy, Keshav. Somebody told me that he's from VIT, and so I just met him through a random network. And I used to go to his place just to talk like what Zillout is, and he was already working with another company.
Hmm.
And one random day he said that, "Can I join your company? I want to work."
Hmm.
I'll get you investments or something like that. I'll give me some commission and I'll go forward. He joined in that perspective, but then he never go back. He never gone back. We couldn't raise investment yet, but then he started taking part in the entire company's operation. Then that's where the journey of building another teammate started. Keshav is the most reserved guy you will ever find. He has three friends, and all three of them are working in Zillout. So he communicated the urgency to the friend that can you come on board for a small task.
Hmm.
So last year there was a Holi going on and we did not had a web developer. So he reached out to his friend and he said that can you help me build a website just for the Holi? He said okay, I'll help you out. He started building the Holi website and started seeing the operations, the kind of work we are doing into the ground. That generated trust and that's where he told that can I join you as a team. So this is how we started building the team and uh, the whole trust factor generated. So if I say that how many people are there, it's almost 14 people into the team, 10 are in the core team. One is Aryan, he's taking care of Android development. Currently, he's working out of Singapore. He's the senior Android developer in Grab,
Hmm.
probably the most paid guy in our company. And then we have Rajat. He was again my batchmate. Previously, he was doing working with Innovator and Zetwork,
Hmm.
but there was a layoff in the company, and then 4 months back he joined Zillout full time, and then that day he decided he'll not join any company. So from 4 months he's full time with us.
Hmm.
And then we have Abhishek. Abhishek is a senior developer in Walmart.
Yes.
So again, we met Abhishek. I actually reached out Abhishek for financial help while building the company. I reached out to the friend who is earning a little more. So I reached out to him that can you help me with some cash I need for this moment. I'm going to return in some time. And that day he was not in that position. But later, after like 7 to 8 months, again he was following the journey. He came back and he said that, Nayan, I felt sorry that I couldn't help that day financially. If you need now, I can help. But though at that moment we were not needing money. But then he offered the second help that I want to devote my time into the team. And that's how he joined Zillout. So again, the trust factor which I'm talking about is the constant factor to build the team.
Superb, superb. And it's also one thing which you rightly pointed out is that founder has to be confident. Founder can't be scared because the same energy is being translated once you're talking to somebody.
Yeah.
Uh, Superb, actually. This is like, tell me something then about Jill. What is the problem that we are solving, and what is your plan of action?
So again, Zillout started with a problem that getting entries into a club. Now,
Hmm.
again, I was completely unaware how big the industry is. I decided that one thing that if I got denied entry into a club, a
Hmm.
lot of other people would have. And I started reaching out to those people, inquiring about their experience into the clubs. I almost talked to more than 500 plus customer. I went to clubs and just randomly spoke to people that how do you plan your journey to come to this club? How did you decide it? And that's
Hmm.
where I got all the answers that people are facing problem discovering pubs, clubs, bars, and breweries. They
Hmm.
are unaware of the price they have to pay at the gate. They have to keep on negotiating. So the consumer has a problem that they are not able to figure out the right venue for themselves. They need to figure out what kind of music they want to listen. And then I was pretty young, just out of the college. So that party thing was always in my mind because, like, let's have some fun, let's go out. But that's where I found the passion that okay, by doing this, there is a clear business I can see. So the goal of Zillout was to solve the problem of end consumer to figure out their nightlife, going to the venue, paying the cover charge, getting guaranteed entry. So it started with that. But then as we deep down started working into the journey, we
Hmm.
started realizing the problem from the business side, the club side. They were also facing the same problem that they are not able to communicate the information which they have in the venue to the end consumer directly. And they have to rely on the third party event promoters,
Hmm.
and what these promoters do is basically make you follow their social media page, WhatsApp forwards, and that's how they communicated the information. So,
Hmm.
as a technology person, I clearly realized that this can be solved using a technology platform, and that's where the journey of Zillout started. The vision again is to uh, s- organize the unorganized sector of nightlife, because F&B is very much organized when it comes to India. We have Swiggy, Zomato, Dine Out, all the big players. They have been into the market for a very, very long time. But
Yes.
as our economy is growing, our young crowd has more liquid cash to, spend on. And I feel COVID also shaped up because people were locked up, and now people are looking for more real social connection, like a face-to-face social connection. And these places are the best place where people, the young audience, wants to go and socialize. And
Yes.
the whole culture, the whole taboo of consuming alcohol is now improving as our economy, as our generation is getting up, because initially there was no one to teach how to consume alcohol, how responsibly to consume alcohol. But now I see people, the parents, taking their kids, maintaining that boundary, that what's the limit, or maybe you're not up to the age, probably after the age you definitely, because initially what was used to happen was the kids were consuming alcohol
Hmm.
beyond the parents' knowledge, which was, I feel, which is not good, because someone has to teach, someone has to tell them what's the consequences, what's the effect of it.
Yes.
So building for the young audience, organizing the nightlife.
Super. And that being said, you will not be limited to India. I think you will expand to other geographies as well.
Definitely. So the plan is to basically cover one city in India, that is Bangalore. We started up. Once we set all the parameters which we're gonna work on, then it's a replicate model into different cities of India, maybe minor changes. And then once we have covered India, we try to move out of the Indian market.
Then, do you get anxious at times?
Um, I guess every day. I mean, that has become the part of
Yes.
journey. So I do get anxious, but again, I'm a lot used to of getting it. So
Yes. Yes. That is so true, na? Like, people, it nothing changes. People learn how to handle that.
yeah,
Great.
Plus,
Yes. Yeah.
you get to know that you're doing something very important,
yeah,
very important for you and others. If you're getting anxious, getting nervous, so that's a
yeah.
good thing. That's not a bad thing necessarily. Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, the team member, when they get anxious, they come to me, and when they see my situation, they are like, I am a lot better situation than this guy, and they feel relaxed because at least they have something
Right.
to rely on. I'm just like
Mm.
open into the market. Okay, जो होगा देखा जाएगा. We'll see into it. So that kind of
Absolutely.
thing works.
Absolutely. This is such a nicely, spelt out, man. Like, you give that, kind of a security to your team, like telling that, hey, if there's somebody, who is actually at the forefront and who has most amount of chances to be stuck, it's me.
Yeah.
And that is, the core of leadership. What I believe, is most of the young entrepreneurs should actually learn, from you.
So
So,
one thing I want to point on the same part is one of my team member, he was little confused that how are we gonna take Zillow to the next level, because it
Mhm.
took a lot of time to build the product and put the product into the market, and it requires a lot of patience. So that guy said that, Nayan, do you have plan B? Because if in case it doesn't work out,
Hmm.
what are we gonna get or how you gonna tackle? I said that I do not have any plan B. I am all in. It's a game of poker and I am all in. I have to see all the cards open up.
Hmm.
Then only I can see what's gonna happen. Until the time I am still in the game, I will be in the game. I cannot back out.
Super, yaar. Matlab, then anytime I have a talk with you, a lot of positive energy actually flows from you, yaar. Matlab, like you are younger to both of us, like by like 6 7 years, but you are far more mature enough. Then so a lot of youngsters are looking to do startups, right? And a lot of them tell that we don't want to work with these companies. We have some idea, we want to explore, we want to check it out. What advice will you give to your junior self who is in second year of VIT and is thinking of doing or working on an idea, doing a startup?
So, very first thing, like when people want to start a startup, it's something like you need to have a problem statement. Now, what I get a lot of question is how to find that problem statement, where to read about it. So, problem statement is something you cannot read about it, you cannot listen to it. It's something you feel. It's the
Hmm.
problem you feel. For the last my two startups, very first was Rent Bars, which was a peer-to-peer rental platform wherein one student can rent out their gadgets, cameras, equipments to any other students.
Hmm.
Now that was my own problem. I was very friendly with people, so a lot of friends comes to me and then they're like, "Ki, Nayan, can you get me a DSLR camera? I'm going on a Pondicherry trip and I know someone who can give them a camera." So that was my personal problem. And then I decided that why not build it as a platform? Too many friends started coming to me that, can I get this? Can I get that? In fact, when we graduated, the farewell, so everyone needed that suit. Now, for a college student, owning a suit is a very, very big challenge. Nobody has that kind of money. And you only have to wear it for a day. You cannot buy a 12,000, 15,000 suit. So I collaborated with the nearby Raymond showrooms and got all their inventory, which they were not using it for like a 2,000 or 2,500 rupees a day. And
Hmm.
almost like 500 plus suits were rented from rent bars. And the whole college, the whole segment of my passed out batchmates are wearing the suit which is rented by the Zillout. So again, coming to the point that you need to experience the problem. And now the best way is you keep on analyzing your day-to-day life, or you work with someone who is finding that different type of problem every day. Now once you find your problem statement that matches your thought process, that okay, I can solve for this, that's where they can start thinking of the building into that segment.
Superb, superb. And they should also come out of this FOMO wala thing, right? uh,
Exactly.
they should try to look into their own self, and they should always likewise Nayan was telling, like when you feel that somebody is doing better than you, then just remember this interview which was done with Nayan. Just go back and keep on checking it out so that you keep on keep motivated. I will hand it over to Vivek. Vivek, do you have any questions like which you would like to put to Nayan?
Yeah, yeah. Man, I remember the first time I met you, like we three were together. So I was able to, look at you and look at the energy and the basically the vibe that you bring in with you. So just wanted to understand from you, like you talked about, building a team in your company, in your startup. So what are the major challenges in terms of motivating the team that you have built and, bringing people together and aligning them with your vision and basically motivating them to work with you and basically like put in effort to build together. So how do you motivate people, your team?
So when it comes to motivation, one thing I decided that motivation comes from two things. Either the zeal to solve the problem. Oh, I guess something is there with when I do this. So either it's the zeal to solve the problem, or
Uh-huh.
it's money that you are
Mhm.
getting something out of it. One thing I
Incentive.
was sure, yeah, incentives basically. One thing I was
Mhm.
sure that the second option is not valid for me. I do not have that. So I try to communicate my vision to the best of my knowledge and give that the feel that I am not a builder, you are the builder. The vision
Hmm.
I have, the major challenge was to put that vision into someone else's mind, my teammates' mind, that you are building for this. You're gonna impact the whole audience, the number of people. We are a young Indian population, almost 70% of our Indian population is young. And you're gonna impact all those. You're gonna create a product which is being used at a mass level. So
Hmm.
that's what I guess it excited people. And there are some cases where people do not want to align with that vision. So definitely you have to swallow the hard pill and let them go, because you cannot force feed this thing. This should come from the within. My job was to put the clear thought about the vision about building Zillout. Then their job was to accept and adapt towards it. So that was the major motivation point, and even till today.
Great. Great, Nan. So one of the questions, which is coming to my mind, because you belong to that Gen Z wala mode, because you are still 25, I think 25 or 26, Nan.
28.
28. ठीक है.
I just turned 28.
So let's suppose Nayan is 27, and so a lot of a lot of the influencers, so-called influencers talking on LinkedIn, Instagram, kind of, not actually exposing the right, struggle which an entrepreneur goes through, but just, focusing on, what are the, gold out there. They just focus on that, and because of which, a lot of kids out there, candidates who are in their 20s, early 20s, feel that, life is an easy stuff, right? So what do you think, is social media, obviously it is responsible to some extent to create that FOMO inside inside these young graduates. What will be your advice to them, even if they don't want to pursue entrepreneurship, or such, such things like this? What are a few things that they should actually do during their college time, so that they become strong as character, strong as person once they come out of the college?
मैं इसको एक लाइन में, हिंदी में एक कहावत है
Hmm.
और जिसको मैं बहुत ज्यादा मानता हूँ: सुनो सबकी, करो अपने समझ की. तो
Hmm.
when I was new into the startup ecosystem,
Hmm.
I've seen a lot of Gyanis. My college senior who was building some kind of project, and he started giving me the Gyan of how to build a startup, the company, and I was like, okay, 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 because I had no thoughts to back it up. I have never been an entrepreneur. I have never run a company. All I can do is listen to that guy.
Yes.
Now, second thing was कि after listening to him, I start implementing the thought process which he implanted, or I gave my second thought that why he said this, what would be the major reason behind this.
Hmm.
Because a lot of people, my senior said that startup is not an easy job. You will end up wasting 5 years or 10 years of your time. He was not wrong. He was right. But
It's like
again,
UPSC preparation.
UPSC still have age gaps, so you know that when you have to stop. Entrepreneurship is a endless journey. You can keep trying till your last breath. Like you cannot stop.
Yes.
So there is no deadline to it. So
Hmm.
again, when it comes to the influencer model, I do not go against them, because they are sharing their experience. Their job is to connect with the mass audience.
Hmm.
Now, as I said that for example, we are living in the AI era, and why do we not have AI for like a small medicine problem or a fever or something like that? Because everyone is different. I can say that आपको सर दर्द हो रहा है, आप सेरेडॉन खा लो, but the problem behind the headache could be different for everyone, and that's why we say that consult a doctor.
Hmm.
So when it comes to an influencer market, they are sharing the journey from their point of view. It might not resonate with your journey. It might not be helpful for you in
Hmm.
your journey, because your startup is gonna be different. Your journey, your problems, everything is gonna be different. but their job is to connect with the mass audience. So they have to talk generic. Now, if I start to believe the generic stuff, I'm gonna be in the loop because everyone is consuming the same information and implementing the same knowledge. Then you will not go into that way. So सुनो सबकी करो अपनी समझ की.
And then now the last question, both of you, like both the founders, both the starting founders, do sales, and this is what I know, right? So what do you think, like, for any startup to grow successful in your small, instant of your entrepreneurship journey, you must have met a lot of startup founders and all these things, right? What do you think, like, a founder knowing how to do sales is more important, or a founder knowing, or maybe, good at tech is more important? Where should the tilt be like?
Uh, in my again whole journey, what I found is that sales is something very different. Tech
Hmm,
is something like the tech are fixed, the stack are fixed. Now, on those stack, there are multiple people who know how to work on that stack.
hmm,
But sales is something you need to communicate the problem to the customer, to the buyer. Now, those buyer are different.
hmm,
I sell to the general manager of the club. I
hmm,
also sell to the bartender of the club. I also sell to the receptionist who is sitting at the gate to the club. I also sell to the bouncers of the club. Now, all these are my customer, but my sales pitch is different with everyone. So
yes.
I feel that sales is something a kind of natural talent which I am lucky to kind of have that from the birth, like bachpan se hi. But there was a lot of learning in that. While I was in IIM Bangalore,
Hmm,
so with the rent bars, we pivoted. We got into a B2B model instead of a peer-to-peer model. And the very first customer was IIM Bangalore. Now
hmm,
everyone around me was like, Nayan, you talk a lot. You are good in sales. If you are so, IIM Bangalore was running the Launchpad program for a quite long time, but no startup have introduced their product with them. Probably some free product, but with the paying customer, there was not many of them. So they told me if you are able to sell to IIM Bangalore to put your games into the campus, it would be a challenge for you.
hmm,
So I was put to talk to the COO of the NSRCL IIM Bangalore,
hmm,
and he was a big fish. He was tough to handle. Like I was scared. I was how I'm gonna pitch it, but
hmm.
ultimately the product got sold. And learning from the feedback, I got a lot of feedback from them that I sell a lot, I talk a lot.
Hmm.
So again, it was a constant process of improvising the sales, improvising the words you choose, improvising the body language which you do. So as a student, I was talking a lot. I just passed out of the college thinking that I'm running a company. I was talking a lot, and which was creating blunders. So it was a gradual process. So again, yeah, sales is something it will be different for different people.
Hmm,
Tech is something you definitely need tech to understand the whole ecosystem.
hmm.
So definitely it contains the weightage, but for tech, you can definitely get some or the other person better
Yes.
at that stack. But sales is something you need to understand your product, you need to understand your customer, everything. Like basically, it's an individual game.
Superbly said, Nan. So great, great talking to you, Nan. And I think now, Vivek is also officially a part of the Memory Bits. So thanks, Vivek, for joining us as well.
Thank you,
Then
Rishikesh.
we wish you all the best for the journey. We'll be in touch. And I hope, this video inspires a lot of, people who are trying to do startups, learn from Nan, like, the way, he managed his family, the middle class family in a tier two city in central India,
I'm
didn't
still
quit on
managing.
his dreams. Yes, didn't quit on his dreams. And then his father was also a government servant. So there are a lot of guys who tells that my background is from government service, I can't do business. So Nayan is an exception to that. Don't quit on your dreams. Don't get into FOMO. And always remember, it's more of a game of perseverance, patience, and keep on doing the things till the point that you hit the gold mine. Thanks so much, Nayan Mishra, for joining us. And we wish you all the best from the bottom of our heart.
Thanks, Rishikesh. Thanks, Vivek, for the opportunity. Hope this video communicates a good message to the people. Thank you so much. Yeah.